Welcome, everyone, to the Walking Cast, episode 110. I am your host, Matrixlord212, and I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris?
What's up, guys?
All right, so I got some reactions, but I didn't get yours. Tell me what you thought of the Season 7 opener of Negan's Victims there. So,
I have to say, any doubts I had about this show are now gone. I loved this episode. The episode, I should say. I'm talking about it like it just happened, but
yeah.
I really liked it. I'm not surprised at who was killed. I am surprised about how they did it, though. The way that he killed Abraham and then kind of nonchalantly just whacked Glenn in the head. That was definitely, it was pretty gruesome, which I think is the right way to go for something like that. I think it really establishes how bad Negan is and can be. I loved it. I was all over that episode. I thought it was great.
I thought it was one of the most dramatic, depressing, exciting, morbid, all these emotions at the same time. It wasn't, you loved the episode, but you were just in complete shock at how, we called it on the show that it was going to be Glenn and Abraham, but the fact of the torment of Rick, chop your son, I actually thought that part, chop your own kid's hands off, I was getting nervous because I was like, now you're going too far. Enough. I was like, don't do this. And I was like, if Rick does that, I'll be so pissed. But thank God it didn't happen that way. But I got to say, he literally made Rick like a dog. Rick is down to the ground, petrified, scared, his complete obedient servant. And even when they showed the trailer of the next episode, Rick's like, I'm not the leader anymore. Negan, he's all weird. And I'm like, shit. Yep. Oh, no. Rick is done. And I think what's going to happen is I think that I'm also glad, before I get into that, I'm also glad that Maggie didn't go against Rick, that she blamed herself, because if he didn't take her for her health to try to go to the hilltop, this wouldn't have happened. So in her eyes, it's all her fault. She don't blame Rick at all. So I really like that they did that. I like that nobody really went against Rick. But immediately she's like, you got to train. He's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, you got to get ready for, he's like, that's it. We're done. He's totally defeated. And what I think is going to happen is that it's going to be a unique perspective that he's going to go back to Alexandria. And Tara, don't know what he went through, Father Gabriel, Spencer, the other guy that was with Tara, that black guy, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
I was like, what happened to him, right? They're all going to be, and then when Morgan and Carol, she's going to tell him, you got to kill this guy, they're going to really have to fix him in a nice mindset to say, look, you can't live like this. We can't let this guy run us. I don't care how many people he has. We got to figure it out, And it's going to take the whole damn season. I don't even think it's going to be this first part of the season. I think he's done right now, Rick. And I think it's going to be to the end of last episode of season 7 that there's a glimmer of him snapping out of it, I think. Because I think they're really going to drag it out. They don't want to get too close to the comic. They're not going to do the time jump like in the comic, because if they do the time jump, then they're going to overtake the comic, and they don't want to have it that way. They want to have material to draw from with the comic. So they're going to, at some point in time, they're going to say, we're going too fast. We're going to slow it up a little bit. We're going to throw some filler episodes in there. So I honestly think it's going to be a while before Rick gets his shit together. But I really did. It was very, I got to say, I was upset for the whole day. And even the next day, I'm watching people's reactions, and I'm like, oh, But it was one of the best Walking Dead episodes, I thought, by far. And then you see the second episode, and you're like, oh, it's a filler episode. Like, it's like, oh, Ezekiel. And I mean, it would probably be good, but we'll probably have Rick for like 5 minutes. You know?
Well, to be honest with you, I think that Ezekiel's group is going to be the key. I think that they're going to be the key to all this because I know that, if I remember correctly, the time jump doesn't happen until Negan's defeated for the first time.
Right.
Because they put him in the cell and he's there for a while. And then him and Carl start to kind of develop like a bond kind of going on. Even after what happened with Carl there, I think that they might still do that. Knowing what I know about the comics, that actually starts to happen before. What happens is in the comics, Negan, I think it's when they first go to Alexandria to get the supplies that they take, half, and Carl sneaks on board one of their transports with like an assault rifle, with the intent to kill Negan and as many of the saviors as he can, but he's captured, and like him and Negan have like Negan's talking to him, and he's like, damn kid, how the hell did you, what goes through your head? And they have this thing, and then he brings Carl back to Alexandria, and Rick's like, what did you do to my son? And he's like, oh, wait till you see what I did. And then like Rick sees Carl, and he's fine, and Negan goes, yeah, that's right, I didn't do anything.
So Rick starts being like pissed again.
Rick in the comics he wasn't beaten to this extreme in the comics, because in the comics Negan literally just beats him up.
Right.
But he starts to like slowly develop himself back, and then eventually he defeats Negan. He nearly kills Negan, but he doesn't. He throws him in the cell. So
did anybody stop him in the comic from killing Negan?
Huh?
Did anybody stop him in the comic?
No, I don't believe so. I think what happens is they're fighting, and then he's talking to Negan as they're fighting, and then Negan starts to realize, like, oh, damn, we're not so different. And then, like, Rick cuts his throat, like, with not too deep, I guess, because
Right.
he survives, and then they put him in the cell, if I remember correctly. There's more to it than that, obviously,
Yeah.
but I know Ezekiel's group is involved, the Kingdom is involved with Rick's army, but a lot of them die.
Right. Wow. Now, Alpha is a huge character too, like Negan, right?
I think Negan kills her, actually.
Yeah, I think it happened in the comic.
Because I know that she kills Rosita, but then Negan kills her because he's like, yo, you're a fake, and you don't have their loyalty. And then I'm pretty sure he kills her. I might be wrong about that.
But she's around for a while, though, right?
I think she's around until Negan escapes.
But that's like, what, a year or two?
Tell you the truth, I'm not sure, honestly. But I know that I don't think she's there now. Or she might be there now, we just don't know about her yet.
Well, I think they casted her, or she's gonna probably be at the end of the season, I guess. I don't know.
Probably. Well, I know that eventually Rick will have his moment.
Yeah.
And he'll, you know what I like in it too? I don't know why this went, I don't know why I thought about this, but a lot of this stuff reminded me of The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Where Bane beats Batman.
Yes.
And then at the end of the movie, Batman nearly kills Bane.
Yes.
That's what it's going to be something like that. I mean, it's the hero's journey,
And I like that movie a lot. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what we'll see. And again, you could also say that it's like Star Wars with, Vader cutting off Luke's hand, and then Luke just saying, all right, he lets go of the thing, and then in Return of the Jedi, he beats Vader.
Right.
I think we might see Rick have a Luke moment where he jumps out with a knife, and he's like, Negan! He just beats the hell out of him with the dull end of the knife.
Right.
But, honestly, I said this too. I was talking to my parents about it, and I was like, I wonder if they're going to have Carl cut off Negan's hand.
Negan's hand?
Yeah.
Well, Negan doesn't get his hand cut off, does he?
Not in the comics, but remember, they could do whatever they want in the show, really.
Right.
So I wonder if that would be like, because honestly, I think if Carl did that, like when Negan was defeated, I think Negan might take it as like a sign of respect.
He's one freaky character, man.
Because, yeah, he's messed up, but,
It's nuts. But again, it was I think, one of the greatest ratings they've ever had.
Yeah, it was.
And I don't really see anybody that really didn't like the episode. I think I saw Tyrone. He was upset by it, I guess. But
He had to stop watching. Yeah, he got upset by it.
Yeah.
I know that there were some people that didn't like it.
Yeah.
It was like the parents for Clean TV or something like that.
Right.
They were like, our kids can't watch this show, and I was like, yeah, no shit. Like, pardon my language, but come on. The Walking Dead is not like Happy TV Family Hour. Like, what the hell?
I know.
It's ridiculous.
All the message. Yeah, I honestly think that we're in good hands right now.
Mm-hmm.
The way the season is shaping up to be. So, definitely. All right. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
We'll be doing a cast tomorrow night on The Walking Dead. Take care. Bye for now.